Okay. Alright. Well, Dwayne, it looks like your wish came true. Welcome to NBA Jurassics, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, my name is Ali. If you are new, hit that like and subscribe button. You already know what it is. This is a brand new channel. If you like NBA content and dope Raptors content, then this is the place to come. Let's just get right to the fourth quarter of that one. We had opportunity after opportunity to come back into this one. Somehow, the Detroit Pistons, one of the lowest scoring teams in this league, happened to look like one of the highest scoring teams in the whole damn league. And it had to be against us. You know, last year Detroit swept the season series against the Raptors. And today, once again, Dwayne Casey's team beats Nick Nurse's. It feels like, you know, it's definitely revenge games coming from Dwayne Casey at this point, because this guy, I think the playoffs are whenever he faces us. It feels like that's the only time this dude is like all out. That game matters the most to him. It's like his ass burns so much that he lost his job to Nick Nurse, that every single time he faces the Raptors, his team looks like the best team in the whole goddamn Eastern Conference. And it always is against us. By the way, this was the first time pick number 1 and pick number 4, that's obviously Cade Cunningham and Scottie Barnes, went at it. And Scottie definitely outshined Cade. Now, Cade did hit a few big shots, like some of his only shots that were recognizable in this whole game, that stood out in this whole game. They came in crunch time, during the time when Detroit needed it most. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Cade made some tough shots over some tough defenders. OG was on him, Scottie was on him. He made a couple on OG actually, late in the fourth, to help Detroit pull away and seal that one. Jerami Grant was great for Detroit. 24 points in this one for him. I will say that had Trent Jr. made that shot, that Ice in Veins Hall of Fame badge that I was talking about last time, that would be a solidified thing. Right now it's looking like it's on gold, just because of one miss today. But then again, I'm thinking the next one he hits, he's back up. He's fluctuating between gold and purple for me, I'll tell you that. And Pascal Siakam had himself a game, man. It was so good to see P-Skills go at it. This guy was unstoppable today. Now, we do know Fred VanVleet was not playing today. Now, Goran Dragic filled in very honorably. And if you guys want to laugh your ass off, then hear this. So Freddie was out today with a groin strain. If y'all can put together the celebration that he just got fined for from the last game, the Sam Cassell famous Big Cajones celebration, well, Fred VanVleet has a groin strain. And that's why he was out today. So the impact of his large testicles for last game not only costed him a fine from the NBA, but it also made him have to sit out for this one. Now that's hilarious. That is absolutely legendary. Man's got injured because of the size of their balls. Straight up. There's no other explanation for that. Way too ironic, way too coincidental. And like I was saying, Goran Dragic really did fill in honorably. And I was saying this to somebody in the comments recently. They were asking, when is Goran Dragic actually gonna even play? Is he even gonna ever play? And my answer to that was that if there's a DNP due to an injury, let's say one of our point guards go down, or if it's the playoffs and we still have him on the roster, that's when I see this dude playing. And before you know it, a couple games later, you never hoped for this, but Freddie went down. And Goran Dragic, that's why it's always nice to have a veteran like him on the squad. Take a look at his numbers today, before I get to Pascal's sizzling numbers. So Goran Dragic had 16 points. He had a couple of steals in this one. He had 5 rebounds. 2 of them were offensive. He had 3 assists. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 6 of 12 from the field. 2 of 5 for the Dragon. An extremely efficient game. And he filled in honorably for Freddie in his absence. So that was really good to see. Trent Jr. had a solid performance in this one. It just sucked he couldn't make that 3-pointer at the end to tie it. Or to bring it really close. And it was 23 points for Gary, 8 of 16 from the field, solid 40% shooting from 3. He made 4 of his 10 threes, and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. A couple rebounds with that, and he had his 3 steals as well. He is top 2 in steals. Last time I checked, he might be number 1. Not 100% sure, but I will tell you right now, I love what I'm seeing from Gary, both on the defensive and offensive side. And I can't wait to see what this guy has in the bag coming in the future, because this guy has potential to be a star, man. I'm gonna tell you that right now, both defensively and offensively. Now, let's talk about Pascal Siakam really quick. His best game so far since he's come back, and it's only been a couple games, 3 games to be exact. 25 points in this one for P-Skills, 7 assists, and 12 boards. 7 of them were offensive. He was huge in this game. He almost carried us to a win. 9 of 14 from the field, 2 of 3 from three-point range, 5 of 9 from free throw range. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, the 5 of 9 from three-point range. As a matter of fact, free throws overall in this game, we missed 11 free throws. And if you do the math, we only needed 7 points to win this game. 7 more points to win this game. And if it weren't for those goddamn missed free throws, which is a rarity for our team because we usually are okay from the line, we've never had those kind of problems hold us back from a W like this in quite a while. Those free throws really sunk us, man. Those missed free throws were key. Pascal, even though he had a very efficient night from everywhere, was 5 of 9 from the line. That just goes to show the whole team today. He was not the only one. Kem made 2 of his 4. Malachi missed a free throw. Banton was pretty good from the line, 3 of 4. But overall, we missed 11 free throws, guys, and that cannot happen. We're a team that doesn't even get that many chances from the line, so we need to capitalize on every single chance that we get. Scottie Barnes got called on some ridiculous travel today. If you go look at the replay, he did not travel. He did not travel. That boy was just... he didn't even move his planted foot from the pivot, so I'm not even sure exactly what they're talking about. Chris Boucher in this one, he had 12 minutes. Completely the opposite of what we saw last game in regards to his performance. He was 0 of 2 from 3, 1 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from the free throw line. He had 1 board and 2 points. Kem Birch came back in this one. That was a good thing because Kem has been playing solid this season. He was 1 of 3 in his field goals, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 3 boards in this one, offensive, and 5 altogether, 1 assist, and 4 points. Banton was awesome off the bench for us, 4 of 6 from field goal percentage. He made his 3-pointer, which is great to see. I love the fact that Banton is taking 3-pointers, the same size as Ben Simmons, and coming straight out of the gates. This guy was told by Freddie in a famous quote earlier in the season, where Freddie was telling Banton that you need to just shoot, man. Whatever it is, just shoot. When you're open, you're shooting. And having that green light and having that confidence from the leader of this team for the young rookie, especially picked off the second round. He wasn't even supposed to be playing in the big leagues this year, at least not this early. It's huge for his confidence to get that kind of compliment from that kind of reassurance from an all-star in Freddie, or should I say future all-star. Svi had a good game in this, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range. He had 3 boards, he had an assist, he had 7 points altogether. But at the end of the day, guys, we really missed Freddie in this one. Precious was also out with a shoulder injury, but I don't think it's too major. I cannot wait to see Yuta Watanabe come back, by the way, guys. I did make a documentary on him as well. A mini documentary, rather. Just giving you a little bit of an outline of who he is and what to expect from him when he does come back. Do check out that documentary if you've not gotten a chance to. It is on my page and on Basketball Zone as well. Other than that, I will say that for Detroit, Jerami Grant, 24 points, 5 assists, 3 offensive rebounds as well, 5 rebounds in total, so 24, 5, and 5. Solid line from him, a block as well. He was 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Really nice to see a full 100% from the free throw line for somebody, at least in this game. Unfortunately, he wasn't a Raptors player. 8 of 16 from the field, 2 of 3 from three-point range. He shot very efficiently. He's a great player for them. I really like Jerami Grant, and I think he's going to be a star in this league if he's not already one. Saddiq Bey, another great player. Detroit is full of like these great prospects with really good talent. And I think that their ceiling is really high if they get things to click. I don't know if Dwayne Casey's going to cut it for them as a coach, unless it's against the Raptors, because I think he just plans everything around beating the Raptors in his whole season. He doesn't care about any game. He just circles all the Raptor games, because this dude hasn't lost to us in so long. It's the funniest thing in the world. Number 1 pick overall, Cade Cunningham had 10 points in this one. He had a block, he had a steal. He really wasn't even that visible compared to Scottie. It just feels like Scottie was a number 1 pick, and just judging by this game, unless when you're looking at the last minute of this one, that's when Cade kind of really stole the show for them. That's when he was really, really visible, because he did make a couple of clutch buckets over OG, like I mentioned earlier, to seal it for Detroit in the end there. So that was really good for him. Killian Hayes, it's good to see him finally heating up, because there was so much hype behind him when he first came into the league. In 2K, he's always been such a monster, especially last year's edition. So it's good to see the young lengthy point guard get run. He's shooting 38% from 3 for the season, so that's really good for him. He was 4-7 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3-point range. He made both his free throws. 10 assists, and he had a block as well. 13 points, really good from the young point guard. And Isaiah Stewart, great game from him, 20 points. He was 9 of 11 from the field, so extremely efficient. He missed his 3-pointer. He made both his free throws. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Extremely good game from Isaiah Stewart for them. And then they also had an all-out assault off the bench as well. Their bench played really good for them. They had like 50 points off the bench, pretty much, pretty close to that. Frank Jackson had 14 points. Josh Jackson had 15 points. Yeah, like Jackson 2 in there. Trey Lyles had 8 points, and Corey Joseph had 7 points off the bench for them. So they had a really good bench effort. Unlike us, we did not have a solid bench effort except from Banton. So we're going to need that bench production once again in order for us to really dig into our depth here. Guys off the bench are going to have to start heating up. Other than Kem Birch, Svi, Banton from time to time, we're going to need other people heating up off the bench, man. For real. If we're going to compete, that's going to have to happen. We're going to compete on a nightly basis. Especially against teams that have depth like this, that all of a sudden they start picking up heat. We need to be able to respond to teams like that with a counterpunch of depth that is just as effective. If we want to really, really take it to the next level and be identified as a team with that kind of depth, right? As a deep team. Anyways, overall, guys, I'm super tired. I did just make this take for y'all because I just found it so funny that A, Fred VanVleet is out with a groin strain after doing that celebration last game, and B, Dwayne Casey treats every Raptors game like it's the fucking playoffs. But regardless, I'm not too pissed off about this loss. All right, it is against Dwayne Casey, and his whole career once again revolves around beating us. So let's just keep on highlighting that notion here, okay? We didn't have Freddie in this one. We didn't have Precious in this one. I'm not going to make excuses. A loss is a loss. We almost had this one in the bag. Couple shots short. That's all right. Let's get the next one. The season is still yet young. We're at 500, and there's a long way to go. I can smell a streak coming very soon. And I really hope no one loses any faith or any sleep over this loss. It really ain't a big deal. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Peace.